please be sure to use supporter creator code Justicul when buying things in the item shop. I will give a shout out to someone who can prove they bought something with it in my next video. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Yo, what is good everyone? It's me Justicul again, back with a brand new video. Now today I'm going to show you all the 4 most crucial reasons why you're not seeing improvement in Fortnite and how to fix it. No 5-minute intros, just like you're used to. Let's get into it. By the way, follow me on Twitch, link is in the description. So, you're playing Fortnite, it's season 9 and you still haven't seen any progression in your gameplay in weeks or even months. You really want to improve, as you are one of the few that doesn't complain on Twitter about how the game is garbage, but where should you start? That is where your boy comes in with the 4 most important tips to see improvement in your skill. Now I can make a whole top 10 list with small difficult details on how to improve, but these tips will be really easy and straight to the point and will make you think, wow, seriously, that is where I went wrong? I could have fixed that in a week. Now to start this video off, ask yourself 2 questions. How long have I played and which pro would I really want to be? Are your answers to that 2 weeks and TFU? You have found yourself your first problem, buddy. Of course, I'm talking about unrealistic expectations. Now this tip is the most applicable to players that just started playing the game or that made the switch from controller to keyboard and mouse, but even if you have been playing since season 2, give yourself a reality check. The problem that most people have is that they compare themselves way too much to other players and that their expectations are too high. If Mongrel adapts to a new meta in a span of 2 days, that doesn't mean that you're able to do the same. Now I'm not trying to be demotivating here, but most people are making mistakes in this. Yes, you are able to become as good as your favorite pro player, but it will probably take the same time and dedication as they have put in. What you have to understand is that your expectations should gradually increase the more your skill level increases as well. What happens if you don't do this? Simple, demotivation. And what did I say that was the most important thing for me when improving? Exactly. Motivation. That is easy math right there. What you should really do is practice the things you need to practice to get on the same level as pros step by step and adapt your expectations to that. Do you need to tunnel better and it just doesn't seem to get better? Focus all your attention on this until it does get better and let all the other pro builds, edits and strats go for a second. Now, before you start practicing this a lot, think to yourself, what should I be able to achieve in 1 week of pure tunneling practice? The classic Connor? I don't think so, buddy. Let's get that down to a simple, straightforward, fluent tunnel. Now this expectation might be too low for some of you, but imagine how it feels when you exceed that expectation. You'd be on top of the world and oozing of confidence. Seems like the key to success to me, doesn't it? Now the same example is also applicable to aim, building, editing and anything else you need to get better at. Now with this in mind, we go to the next tip. I have briefly talked about it already in the last tip, but it really deserves its own attention. Directed practice. A lot of people always ask me why they're not improving, and I guess their Fortnite day always consists out of this. Starting up the game, going into creative or not even at all, do some random 90s and try something awesome you've seen on YouTube the other day and failing to do so, put the game mode on solos and queue up, or invite some friends and going straight into squads. Now what is wrong with this? Absolutely nothing. If you want to stay at the same skill level, that is. You will achieve absolutely no improvement by practicing the same thing you know already every day. Yes, it's good to get your fingers warm of course, but perhaps practice some new high ground retakes you can't do for once, and even crazier, the next time you queue up with your friends and you're in a fight with an opportunity to try it, just do it. Who cares if you fail when you have your friends screaming at you? You gotta learn it somehow, and in a few weeks you'll be pulling it off flawlessly and they'll be jealous because they can only do a simple 180. Trust me. So yes, the next time you go for one of these practice runs, please don't go into creative and do random stuff you already know. Practice something you really need to get better at to improve. Need better aim? You got Kovacs or Beaks' aim map. Grind it out. Need better building? YouTube videos and creative is all yours, brother. Want to learn edits and how to do them faster? Listen to the previous sentence again. What I would also highly recommend to do if you have the time of course, is to make a practice routine every day. Note down all the things you need to improve on, find solutions on how to improve on them, and finally go to work. Do this every day consistently in the time you have and you'll find great success in no time. It's understandable if you don't have the time for this due to work, school or any other responsibilities. I personally can't do this either, but if you can, take the advantage that others don't have. Talking about warming up. Do it more. This is the next tip. In my last tip video, I already talked about how to keep your fingers warm during playing, but I know way too many people that don't warm up before they jump into games, and even I am a wrongdoer in this as well sometimes. Before you go on, crank some simple 90s in creative, do some builds you usually do in game, maybe even practice your aim a bit, and start off with some regular solos if you have arena or scrims in mind for the rest of the day. Now remember, this is warming up, not practice, so you're allowed to do the things you normally do this time. An important way to keep consistent progression going is to always warm up for games. It will not only immediately give you practice on the skill level you normally play on, but it will also help you with motivation and overall joy in playing the game, as you will die less at the beginning of your Fortnite session because you're warmed up, and this means less raging and getting triggered. If there is one thing that messes my day and gameplay up, then it has to be getting triggered at the game. Avoid this by properly warming up. Now this tip doesn't end here, because you also need to properly rest. So many people forget this. Nowadays it's all about the grind, the 24-hour streams, 12-hour custom scrimming, and let's not forget the 4-hour VOD reviews. But be honest with me, how long are your breaks if you even take any? Are you happy outside of the game with your social life? Are you sleeping well enough? Now I know I'm sounding like your mom, but hear mommy Justicul out for a second, alright? I'm all for grinding as well, that is why I'm currently making this video at like 5 AM, but I make sure that I sleep at least 7 hours a night, with sometimes a few 5-hour ones of course. Also, when I get triggered or if I notice that I'm starting to get tired, I take a long break. It might be so obvious for you, but please think about your mental health and physical health as well. You're never going to improve on 2 hours of sleep every day and depressing thoughts outside of the game. I play lows better when I'm well rested, know I get everything done that needs to be done, that the people around me are happy, and that I take enough breaks. I highly recommend you do the same thing. And just like that, we have arrived at the last tip already. Now guys, I don't think there's a better feeling than clapping your best friend for the 22nd time in creative in a day, and you might feel like TVU on steroids, but that is another main reason why you're not seeing improvement. You have to challenge yourself to actually get better. Do you think that all these pros got so good at placing for the World Cup by getting 530 bumps every day in solos? No, they're playing custom games against each other every single day. Full lobby, best of the best. You ain't finding no little Timmies there. Now you don't have to play in those games of course, if you could even get in, but think to yourself, what can I do to really challenge myself? Still scared to play arena? Just go for it already and get to Champions Division. Already in Champions Division but stuck at 300 points? Go grind it out and make sure to get to 400 for me. Always 1v1ing that one friend that absolutely sucks, challenge the one friend that has 4,000 wins under his name, TTV's epic idea, and the loudest mechanical keyboard in existence. You get my point? No one gets better until they actually get challenged. Now these are all the tips I got for today. Hopefully you found them useful. If you did, then please leave a like on this video and consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. And as always, have an amazing day everyone, and I'll see you all in the next upload very soon. I got some absolute bangers coming up.